So, back for another episode of Believe in Boyt with this new team. I wanted to build a team around a QUAQUAVAL because I wanted to check if it was actually an A-ranked Pokemon. I want to actually use it to test that theory. Gave it that right at the beginning of the format, and I haven't seen literally any of them at all in any battles I've seen. So, I wanted to test it out, built a team around it, and now I'm going to be seeing if the A rank is justified. Thank you very much to JBD for getting the mons in the game. Let's get into some battles. Aha, Rain. Okay. Dreadnought is one of the better Swift Swim sweepers, I think. But if I can take care of the Pelipper, QUAQUAVAL actually goes in. Okay, so do they want to lead with the Palafin so they can get the flip turns? It'd be reasonable to lead with Dreadnought and Palafin, then you can flip turn into your Pelipper. That would make sense in my head. Scarlet is still nice here. It might be a bit samey, but Toedscruel Scarlet seems pretty nice. Although they're in the wrong order. Toedscruel goes first. It makes no difference, but unless you're facing a Ditto. But definitely bring QUAQUAVAL. And then... yeah, I'll bring Grimmsnarl here. Grimmsnarl's pretty good. But Toedscruel and Scarlet, I like them a lot. They seem to suit me well. I'm still surprised I'm seeing mainly Amoonguss over Toedscruel. Like, Clear Smog is good into Dondozo, but Sporing a Goldengo is also very good. Oh, would you look at that? Called it exactly. So, what I can do here just depends if they have an Ice move on the Dreadnought, because I can go for this, right? Well, I've lowered the speed on my Excalibur a bit, and I don't outspeed it, Pelipper. Probably Trick Room, actually. Trick Room wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I want to get rid of my Rock typing, so I'm going to go for that. If they flip turn into Amoonguss, whoops. They don't even flip turn into Amoonguss, they just hard switch into the Pelipper. It better not be Amoonguss. Okay, good, good. Now just don't be Ice Spinner, please. If it is not, then Toedscruel definitely survives and gets up Trick Room. Is this going to be Grass? Yeah, fair enough. They're avoiding any spores, so this is entirely reasonable for me. The only awkward thing is I can't KO both Pokemon next turn because Earth Power will not be able to hit the Pelipper. Not the most ideal, but still fine. Are they going to be sashing the Pelipper as well? It's interesting they didn't flip turn. Like, surely you would flip turn there. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. But it's just Rock Slide. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, fine. Fine. What am I going to do now? Because now they can Hurricane the Toedscruel. I still hope they are not Sash. I will still Trick Room. But yeah, that is abysmal. Now it's just like... it probably is over because I'm going to be... oh no, still Rock Slide, so I'm still okay. If Excalibur outspeeds, it's not a timid Pelipper, and I don't flinch, and it's not Sash, then I'm still okay. But if it is Sash, then I'm not in a good position at all. And it is not Sash. So, okay, that's doable. Because I can redirect the Jet Punch and Oko the Dreadnought with Icicle Spear now. So this is still okay. Although, do they have Amoonguss? If they have Amoonguss, whoops. That is not an Amoonguss. So this is going to be a Spore into the Goldengo, because I can. And this is going to be an Icicle Spear into the Dreadnought. But they switch into the Palafin, fair enough. And I will likely lose my Excalibur this turn to whatever the Goldengo wants to go for. And fortunately, I do underspeed. Like, I may not have undersped there, so... It's a good thing this is a fast Goldengo. But it's going to sleep now, for sure. They can't OHKO my Toadscruel. And if they make it rain, it may not KO the Baxcalibur. Dazzle Gleam won't KO. Because my EVs are busted. And I'm slightly bulkier on the Baxcalibur now, so... Even if you did go and check out my EV guides, this one's slightly different, because that one was made in mind with a Fluttermane, and Fluttermane doesn't exist, so I bulked it out a little bit more. But still go and check out that guide. Now, I can be Jet Punched, but I can also just redirect. The Goldengo is not a threat at all. I could Spore, and if they do Jet Punch, they're just asleep. But I think it is better to get the Terra Blast into the Palafin. And this also lets me confirm that Rage Powder is not like minus priority or anything. It definitely is just the last of the +2s. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. I don't expect to OHKO Palafin because it's got pretty reasonable bulk, because it's got amazing stats, like it's near legendary stats, so... The Baxcalibur is pretty strong. I don't think it will KO though. Yeah, not quite. However, I can go for a Sucker Punch now into the Palafin, and it will... I'm not even going to use QUAQUAVAL. It will out-prioritize because we're still in the Trick Room. How many turns is the Trick Room left? Oh, it's a shiny one. Nice. Clear Amulet. Fair enough. And yeah, Choice Specs. Okay. So they're locked into Dazzle Gleam. I mean, that's good against my Grimmsnarl, but there's 2 turns of Trick Room left. So yeah, I will Sucker Punch the Palafin and out-prioritize it, and I will just Terra Blast the Goldengo. And that will KO. Good. And this will do half, right? Because I've seen it do half before. And it outsped my Baxcalibur, so it hasn't got as much bulk. Okay, fair enough. That logic was not there, but fine. I can still just go for a Sucker Punch very safely, because I know it's locked into Dazzle Gleam, and it is Choice Spec, so I would just be able to KO it. Very good. Very good showing of QUAQUAVAL there, because that's what I want to find out. Really good showing. Just sat on the bench and did nothing. Okay. Can we call it standard yet? I'm going to call it standard. QUAQUAVAL is very reasonable. The point, like, I put Mental Loan on the Toadscruel as a Murkrow counter. Because if they lead with Murkrow, then I can pretty safely Spore. And against what they've got, I can very safely Spore. So, I shall lead with QUAQUAVAL, because I want to use it, and I don't want to just leave it in the back and it do nothing again. Then, yeah, my Grimmsnarl is still very good as extra support. And then Goldengo is not that great. Volcarona could be okay, but doesn't do very good against the Ceruledge at all. I'll bring Baxcalibur still. Baxcalibur in the back? What is this? Still need to do my trainer card. Still need the reminders. I still need to remember to do it. Okay, that's not a lead I was expecting, but here we are. Oh, it's a shiny QUAQUAVAL. Thank you, JBD. So, like, I'll take a Bitter Blade. I won't take a double up. So I could just go straight for a close combat into the King Gambit, and then that stops the Toadscruel from being Iron-Headed, but then they can turn into a Grass type with the Ceruledge, which is very common. I don't think that'll outspeed me, though. Yeah, I'll try and spawn the Ceruledge, but I expect it to change into a Grass type. But it did not. This is going to work out pretty well. If they double protected, they disrespected Swords Dance. But nope. I'll take that. That's a good start. Perfectly content with that as a start. So, not too bad. They gained absolutely nothing from that. I get a Moxie boost. I guess I got minus defenses, so I'll be being KO'd to things. But that's a pretty reasonable start. And assumedly, I'll outspeed the Ceruledge, so I'll be able to go for an Aqua Step, and that should KO. Yeah, just Murkrow, that's fine. I've got Mental Herb. So... But they can now Tailwinds, but they shouldn't be able to KO my QUAQUAVAL unless they are Grass Terror. And if they are, then I still just Spore the Murkrow. And then I can go into the Baxcalibur and Icicle Spear the now Grass-type Ceruledge. So this is fine. I mean, this is still fine. If they Taunt, it's absolute best case, because then I actually outspeed them. But that's still taking a huge chunk, like... Look at this. Yeah, that's a lot. Moxie is pretty good. But Foul Play will do a lot of damage, because I'm +1 and I'm minus defenses, but it shouldn't KO. You know, because my damage intuition is still absolutely spot on. But now I can just KO the Goldengo, because what I can do is I can go for Earth Power into the Goldengo. I definitely outspeed everything, unless they're timid Choice Scarf, but I don't think they would be. And then Close Combat would... Close Combat would KO, but I want to Aqua Step just in case they do switch into Ceruledge for some reason. I don't think they will, but, you know, this was just to cover it. So, Close Combat was objectively better, because I don't think the Aqua Step will KO. Close Combat probably would have done. You know, my damage intuition is still perfect, but... Yeah, this is still fine. Because I can go into... I can go into Grimmsnarl now, and I can fake out KO the Murkrow, as I still Earth Power KO the Goldengo. But then I have Baxcalibur against... Baxcalibur wins the 1v1 against Ceruledge, right? And even still, like, they are not choice specs, they cannot KO my Grimmsnarl with Make It Rain. Because I am Assault Vest. Because Assault Vest is the best Grimmsnarl. Even back in Generation 8, no one believed me. Because Frisk is great. Metal Coat, okay, fair enough. So then I can still just Earth Power into the Goldengo. It's worth going for Trick Room, actually. No, I didn't think so. I'll just Earth Power. I will just fake out KO the Murkrow. And if they switch into Ceruledge, good play, but still pretty much the same position. But this will KO. I'll survive and Make It Rain even though they are Metal Coat. That just means the Life Orb's somewhere else. I outspeed, fine, I'll take that. Perfectly content with that, because that means no Make It Rain and means the game is definitely locked up. So I guess QUAQUAVAL actually did some good stuff in this game. So, good. I will Sucker Punch them. Even if they Shadow Sneak, that's not doing much damage, and I will definitely out-prioritize them. Or out-damage them, I should say. But this is likely going to be a Grass type now, and if it is, then Baxcalibur just immediately wins. It's flying, okay. So they're immune to Earth Power, but I can now Sport them. So, that's fine. That was good damage. And yeah, that's low, so definitely didn't want to have Trick Roomed. But I'll survive this. I'll probably go back to full, but not the worst. Yeah, I just outspeed an Icicle Spear at any point. I'm trying to think. I was trying to get fancy and just go for switch out the Grimmsnarl into the Baxcalibur, but Baxcalibur is the Wink Edition, so there's no point. There's no point. And like, obviously that would have worked out, so I could fake out and Dragon Lance, but like, I don't need to. Because Toadscruel outspared, so my Baxcalibur outspeeds. And just Icicle Spears KOs them. Like, I don't need to Dragon Lance, because they're at 60% HP. Even if they could survive all 5 hits, or even 4 hits, I don't think they would. Didn't need to get fancy. But what I will do is I will see if an extra Sucker Punch is enough. If I were to Terrastallize into the Dark typing. So I've got Dark on the Grim's Null so that when it needs to Sucker Punch, it's extra strong. It did, what, 40% with the Spirit Break, so it'll be close. I think it will survive on 1. That's not 1, but it survived. And then Icicle Spear just needs 1. Nice! So, okay, that one was actually a reasonable showing for QUAQUAVAL there. I mean, they disrespected it completely by just letting me close combat a King Gambit turn 1, but I'm not complaining, because that gives me a Moxie boost, and then I do huge damage. Like, I could have close combated, just KO'd the Murkrow, but it did cover for the Cerulean Edge Switch, and I was still fine regardless, so it didn't matter. Alright, that's cool. I like that. I like you can tell which Taurus it is as well on Team Preview. You couldn't do that with Urshifu, so... I guess that's on Showdown, isn't it? That you couldn't tell the Urshifu first. But anyway, don't need to worry about that Pokemon anymore. It still seems pretty reasonable to go with the Toedscruel. Although they do have Meowscarada, and they probably have a Grass-type Armarouge, that's the most common. QUAQUAVAL is alright. I think I want to bring it. It's just, do I lead it? Because I wanted to test if QUAQUAVAL was good, I will lead it. I'll bring Baxcalibur in the back, and I think it is Grimmsnarl once again. Yeah. And then we'll be able to see. Because if they lead with the Murkrow, that's ideal, because then I can just go for a Spore. Because of the Mental Herb. Like, I think Citrus Berry is probably better. But given that Murkrow is definitely going to be a thing, and if they lead Murkrow into Toedscruel, then they're kind of screwed with Mental Herb. Then, you know, with that, then I think this is okay. However, it is not ideal that they have led with Meowscarada. So I will protect the, or Trick Room and protect, and then next turn I get to close combat the Meowscarada instead. Because they can't stop this Trick Room. Only Brave Bird would stop this Trick Room, and that is incredibly uncommon on the Murkrow. Like, even Choice Banded's Flower Trick would not. Because that is exactly what the Mental Herb is supposed to do. Not going to work, thank you very much. And they U-turns into the QUAQUAVAL, or do they U-turn? They U-turn the Code. Okay, good play. Yeah, because that's a lot. That's a lot. Good play, good play. However, I am getting Trick Room. Did I actually want Trick Room? Because the QUAQUAVAL doesn't underspeed, right? It underspeeds the Taurus, but I'm getting intimidated. Okay. Because Swords Dancing would be dangerous. I've got the Baxcalibur. I will attempt to Spore the Murkrow. Or do I get Earth Power Chip? Because surely they KO the Toedscruel this turn. An Earth Power Chip would be good, because that would likely put the Taurus in range of the... yeah, it would put them in range of the Life Orb close combat in the future. Shame I didn't Spore the Murkrow. That would have worked out pretty well. If I was brave enough to go for a Swords Dance and a Spore into the Murkrow, I'd have been in a great position. And it is going to be Choice Band or Life Orb or Assault Vest. Okay, that's fine. Oh, expecting the Swords Dance that turn. And Aqua Jet's that KO? Yes, it does. Okay, fine. So now I can go for Baxcalibur and I can Icicle Spear the Murkrow and I can Spirit Break the Taurus. I don't think that will KO, but well, I know it won't KO. Although I could Terra Blast the Taurus and Spirit Break it, and that would KO. So I think that is reasonable to go for. Or I could Terra and just avoid the close combat, right? But then that would put me in range of a potential Sucker Punch, and we know it's banded on the Meowscarada, so they probably would go for Sucker Punch. Then I can Dragon Lance on that turn and Spirit Break them. Would that KO? Probably not. Because Foul Play will hurt the Baxcalibur. But I can do this, so I will. Because I know it's Assault Vest. So I will double into it. And if Spirit Break crits the Taurus, then Terra Blast goes into the Murkrow. Also, did I need to do that? Could I have got away with just Spirit Break and Icicle Spear into the Taurus? I can't Dragon Dance anymore, but I'm fine with that. Like, that's not a foul play. I'm fine with that. Because this is a KO Taurus. Unless, for some reason, they are just unbelievably blocked out and underspeed my Excalibur for some reason. But this is fine. They switch into Meowscarada, I can just get to Icicle Spirit. Because I know they're Choice Bandit because of the U-turn damage. So that taunt was it preferable? Well, there's Garchomp. So I definitely, like, I just Icicle Spear for the rest of the game. How many Suns Trick from that? 2, hopefully? Yes, okay, cool. Because now I can Icicle Spear that slot for sure. Icicle Spear myself, that was weird. Yeah, so I just Icicle Spear the Garchomp. I still Spirit Break the Murkrow. It should 2-shot the Murkrow. Oh, they get defensive Terra. Did not think about that. Unless this is ground. I'll still KO if it's ground. It's water, okay. Right, fair enough. Did not think that that would be a thing on Garchomp. They are usually an offensive Terra, so... I survived the Earthquake, but I don't survive a double up of the foul play as well. So... then I will need to rely on the... yeah, that's not gonna survive. Water is quite uncommon on Garchomp. And now it's QUAQUAVAL. Okay. I can still do it, so long as the Garchomp doesn't have Protect. Because this chip, so long as that's put it into Life Orb close combat range, I can still do it. I still don't like how the HP bars don't just go straight away and it takes that pause. So I need QUAQUAVAL to be strong here. Because they surely go for Tailwind on the final turn. So that I can't Aqua Step faster than them. So I need close combat to KO this Garchomp. And it will be quite close as to whether it does or not. If it protects, then I probably just lost anyway. And I guess I need to Aqua Step myself to speed boost. Yeah, they have Protect. So I was hoping that they were choiced or whatever. But yes, there is the Tailwinds. It would have been better not to KO the Murkrow there, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would have done. Because I was just banking on them not having Protect. And now... like, surely you Flower Trick... like, if they Flower Trick the Grimmsnarl, I lose. There is nothing I can do if they do Flower Trick the Grimmsnarl. So I have to play as if they are not going to Flower Trick the Grimmsnarl. That they go for it into the QUAQUAVAL instead. So I'm playing for the choke here. Right? Because there's nothing I can do if they Flower Trick Grimmsnarl. Because even if I close combat the Meowscarada this turn, that's put me low enough that I can't KO the Garchomp. So I have to bank on them not making the optimal play. Because if they do, there was nothing I could do. Yeah, so there you go. Good. Like, that's correct from them. Because that always KOs the Grimmsnarl. I could not punish them in the slightest. Like, even though I was reading that, nothing could be done. So yeah, that was a very good Water-type Terra on the Garchomp. I think it's going to be quite uncommon that that is going to be the item. The Terrestrialization on the Garchomp. Or at least, maybe in the future. I don't know, this is early meta. But from what I've seen, there is a lot of ground-type Garchomps because they've tended towards more offense. This one is obviously a defensive one that has worked out perfectly. So, but then I guess in the open list format, we're going to know that. So, they also need to do their trainer card. Please remind me still.